Step onto any busy city block today, and your ears are immediately hit with a wall of chaotic noise. The overlapping roar of engines and thousands of rushing footsteps create a state of constant, unavoidable sensory overload, a condition we can call neurological dissonance. This chaotic environment is built from hundreds of competing signals: digital pings from our pockets, sirens in the distance, and the hum of crowded spaces, all blend together, generating a persistent, low-level anxiety in the background of our minds. There is a hidden biological cost to absorbing this racket. Our nervous systems evolved to treat sudden, disorganized sounds as threats, leaving us trapped in an invisible, exhausting state of high alert. We are exhausted because our brains are constantly processing these random, unorganized frequencies. That endless friction severs our ability to access mental stillness. Yet when we feel completely overwhelmed by that modern chaos, we have a very specific instinct. We intentionally seek out highly organized sound to soothe ourselves. We arrange musical notes and rhythmic patterns to change our own emotional states. We use specific melodies to induce weeping, to feel awe, and to attempt communion with something larger than ourselves. This deliberate arrangement of sound is an ancient technology, a tool used to override the noise of our environment and settle the nervous system. To understand this acoustic technology, we look to a physical law called entrainment. Watch these two pendulums swinging side by side, completely out of sync. As interacting bodies, they naturally adjust their rhythms to save energy, inevitably locking into phase and vibrating in perfect harmony. This law governs everything in the universe that moves in cycles. Observe it in synchronized orbiting moons, the ticking of grandfather clocks, and the beating of living cells. Consider what happens when a powerful, external rhythmic sound wave encounters the soft, receptive tissue of the human body. The answer is that our bodies are not passive objects. Our biology is physically predisposed to sync up with whatever dominant, recurring frequencies surround us. Long before modern physics defined entrainment, ancient indigenous cultures observed this phenomenon and mastered it. Shamanic traditions used rhythmic percussion to manually drive the collective heartbeat of an entire group, forcing their bodies to entrain to a single beat. Across the world, Eastern traditions achieved the exact same physical state using precise metallic resonance. Tools like these singing bowls provided the continuous, unbroken frequencies required to lock the body into a new rhythm. Monastic traditions relied on the human vocal cord itself. By pushing breath through extended, drawn-out vowel sounds, they turned their bodies into instruments, generating a sustained frequency. These vastly different cultures, separated by oceans and centuries, independently engineered the exact same acoustic tools. They used the physics of sound to literally pull the human body into synchronization with profound, meditative states. We can map this ancient acoustic practice directly onto modern neurobiology, specifically by measuring our brainwaves. Here is the fast, erratic beta brainwave state of a stressed mind. When exposed to entraining sound, external sound waves physically interfere with our internal electrical pulses. This forces the brain to slow down, shifting that jagged line into smooth, rolling alpha and theta waves. These alpha and theta frequencies are the exact measurable neurological states where human beings experience deep meditation, intense flow, and spiritual visions. A spiritual experience triggered by sound is a mechanical process, a physical adjustment of the human nervous system to match an external frequency. Once the brain is fully entrained to that slower rhythm, we enter the final, peak acoustic phase of this journey: resonance. Resonance is the psychological threshold where the physical boundary between your internal self and the external world begins to dissolve. In this state, the distinction between the external sound and your body's response begins to blur. As your brainwaves match the incoming frequency, the internal sensation of rhythm becomes indistinguishable from the sound itself. When ancient texts describe the feeling of connecting to the divine, they are describing this exact sensation of profound oneness and absolute order. That overwhelming feeling of spiritual connection is the biological experience of achieving perfect harmonic alignment with the physical universe. This capacity to synchronize with our environment is a fundamental property of human biology, a trait that has remained constant for thousands of years. It simply requires us to audit the constant, random noise we passively absorb every day, seeking out pockets of total silence, listening to carefully structured music, or just humming a sustained note. We can re-engage this law of physics. When we take control of our acoustic reality, we can bypass the dissonance of the modern world and tune our minds to profound peace whenever we need it.